What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales-related video. So, it's been a little while since we've gotten to talk about Tales. Obviously, the last thing news-wise was when Grace's F Remastered came out this January, which, as crazy it is to say, it was already 7 months ago. It's kind of insane how fast this year has gone by. But, we did just get our next announcement. Obviously, back in Tales of Festival in June, they did say that the next announcement would happen before the end of summer, which it technically did. We are still in August. And it is going to be, as most people expected, Tales of Xillia. Unfortunately, I mean, we'll go into it more here, but unfortunately, they didn't decide to just bundle Xillia 1 and 2 together. I really would have liked to see that happen, because it has been, almost a year since the Graces announcement, so that means even though it's not a year between releases, it is a year between announcements, so there is a very good chance that the next remaster could also just be a year away, and we've still got over 24 Tales games, or about 24 Tales games that need to be ported to modern consoles as part of this project. So if we're only doing one game a year, it's going to be 2037 by the time all the games are actually out. We're going to go over everything right here. So first we'll just go ahead and go over the Xillia I haven't actually watched any of it. I saw the announcements, but I didn't watch the trailers myself. I mean, not like it matters. We already, if you follow the channel for a while, I already did a Tales of Xillia playthrough, which means, I'll just reiterate, I'm not doing another playthrough for the remaster. I just don't really see a point because I've already done it on the channel. I'll obviously be playing it on my own, doing a Japanese playthrough because obviously before now, on the PS3 version, you could only play it in English. So I want to see what the experience is like playing it in Japanese, but I will be playing it on my own even though I won't be doing a second playthrough on the channel. But let's go ahead and watch this, and then there's another video we want to look at after this. See, the problem with it being called the 30th Anniversary Remastered project is they're not going to get all the remasters done during the 30th anniversary, so they've shown us all the Tales games that we still need to see. It's still very weird that they just skipped over Dawn of the New World. I really wish with Symphonia they had just ported Chronicles. But we'll talk about that after. Obviously, this was, before we get into it, this was actually leaked about 2 days ago. I guess, someone kind of screwed up and was able to see, someone was able to find the scheduled posting of this video, and it just showed, like, a bunch of skip pictures for Xillia, so. But I kind of figured they were going to do this to begin with. Simply because they started with Graces, so it did feel like they're just going to do everything on PS3 for the most part, so I do think Xillia 2 will probably be the next in line, but once again, we'll talk about that here in a minute. I'm really curious how they're going to lay this trailer together. Okay.
Why do humans persist in seeking power that could destroy the world?
What are you...
It does look a lot better. Like, visually, it doesn't have that gray, like, grainy effect to it either, I'm noticing. Like, everything looks a lot clearer.
I cast the spirit art. It created a new world and sealed it away. That world is yours. It is known as Riza Maxia.
So that really makes her Maxwell?
We don't have to follow orders. We set our own hours, and we help people. For a price.
Friends? We don't have any.
And I am the young madam's butler, Rowan.
Oh, Jude, you always know how to poop on my party.
Okay, so similar stuff to,
We won't lose to you. No
Similar
way!
stuff
I
to
will
the
protect
Graces
all Amnesia
remaster.
Maxia, people and spirits
I
alike.
assume the grade shop
So
is
is
also
this
going to be
girl
accessible
really
from the
supposed to
beginning.
be the Lord of Spirits?
If that's the case, then we're declaring war. Send word to all the clans.
I can't give up. My mission won't let me. I must keep moving forward.
You go to such lengths to protect humans. So it's only fair that I become strong enough to protect spirits, too.
You will strive to be our protector.
If I run, I won't be able to face her. Then I would really lose her. So I won't. I won't run!
Be yourself and do what you have to do.
And this is probably... Oh, I get a little choked up. This is probably the most important thing about any of this to me is... So obviously, okay, October 31st, so great turnaround release timing. So it's almost kind of better that they didn't announce this in June during Tales of Festival, because then it still would have been like 4 months away. But this is a much better turnaround than Grace's was, because Grace's got announced in what, September? August or September of last year, and it didn't come out till January. So this is barely 2 months away. It's like 2 months and a week from now. So this is very, very good. Very happy to see. Everything looks good. And this artwork over here is brand new artwork. So Fujishima drew the Jude here, and Inomato, before she passed away, we don't know when she drew it, because we don't know how long this has been going on for, or decided on. It had to have been a while, because it has been like... I don't know how many months it's been, but it's been a while since Inomata passed away, so it had to have been a decent amount of time before that she drew this piece of Milla. So that's very important. So this remaster does actually just mean a lot for the series as a whole. We don't know, there is a chance that maybe Inomata was involved in the next main line. Maybe some stuff has been drawn for that we'll see. But other than that, this is probably one of the last things we'll see, new things we'll see from her when it comes to Tales as a franchise. So this is very important, and I really like this here. So let's go ahead and shift gears for a minute. Let's move over here, and let's go ahead and watch this video. So this is with Tomizawa talking about the Tales of Xillia Remaster and some stuff regarding the, as far as I'm aware. That's what the post says, so we're going to see. Okay, let me turn this on.
皆さんこんにちは。テイルズオブシリーズ IP 総合プロデューサーの富澤です。おかげさまでテイルズオブシリーズは2025年12月に
Yeah, so this December will be 30 years since Tales of Fantasia came out.
周年を迎えます。いつも皆様の応援ありがとうございます。
Which, following the trend of a lot of franchises, like, the one thing that stands in my mind is, maybe they'll try to do a remake of Fantasia, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, a lot of people, including myself, are wary about remakes when it comes to Tales, because we don't just want it to be copy and pasted from the Arise gameplay. We want it to still kind of have the identity of what it is on its own. So we'll just have to see if they do something like that.
皆様への感謝と今後も続くシリーズの未来へご
Yeah, so the anniversary itself is from December 2024 to December 2026. So we are in it right now.
期待いただけるように24年の12月から2026年の12月までの2カ年をテイルズオブシリーズ30周年イヤーとして様々な施策を展開しております。その30周年施策の一環としてリマスタープロジェクトを発表しましたが、グレイセス F リマスター遊んでいただけていますでしょうか。皆様に楽しんでいただけているようであれば嬉しく思います。そしてリマスタープロジェクトの次なるタイトルとしてテイルズ・オブ・エクシリア・リマスターの情報を公開させていただきました。2025年10月31日の発売を予定しています。テイルズ・オブ・エクシリアは2011年にシリーズ15周年記念タイトルとして発売されました。そんなエクシリアといえばシリーズ初のダブル主人公ということで、選択した主人公の視点に立って物語を体験できる。つまりジュードとミラそれぞれの視点で物語が描かれる。
You will get a lot of people who will try to argue it's like, oh well, you know, these two characters were both the protagonists, but this is like in a literal sense, like they each have their own campaign. Like obviously, you know, every story has a protagonist and you know, a deuteragonist. But this is the only one where there's actually like a branching path. You know, you will see scenes on the Milla side that you won't see on the Jude side.
というところが一つの特徴です。また、2人のキャラクターがペアとなって協力するリンクモードを中心としたバトルも特徴的です。連携攻撃やリンクアーツを駆使した戦略性の高いバトルをぜひお楽しみいただきたいと思います。物語の舞台は人間と精霊が共生する世界リーゼ・マクシア。人々はゲートという機関からマナーを生み、それを精霊に与えて精霊術を行使しており、ラ・シュガルとアジュールという二大国の対立はあれど平穏に暮らしていました。医学生のジュードは精霊の主マクスウェルを名乗る謎の女性ミラと軍の研究所で偶然出会い、マナーを大量消費する兵器クルスニクの槍を目撃したことで指名手配されてしまいます。2人は逃亡の中で様々な仲間たちと出会い、世界に隠された秘密を知ることになります。リマスター版では魅力あふれるキャラクターたちと共にさらに美しくなった世界を巡る旅をお楽しみいただけます。ハードごとにグラフィックの調整向上を行います。詳細は製品公式サイトをご覧ください。またテイルズ・オブ・グレイス SF リマスターに引き続き今作でもゲームを快適にプレイしていただけるようオリジナル版からの多数の機能追加を行っています。目的地アイコンの追加、各種スキップ機能、フィールドやダンジョン内で敵とのエンカウンター
Okay, you're just blitzing through these. Hold on a second. Hold the phone. Okay.
やダンジョン
Alright, so toggling of enemy encounters is staying the same. So the battle rank, so difficulty obviously is there. Subtitles.
内で敵とのエンカウントをオフにする機能、シリーズおなじみのグレードショップ
Okay, yeah, great
の
job.
初期開放など、ゲームをよりスムーズにお楽しみいただける便利機能を多数追加しています。グレイス SF でも反響の大きかったオリジナル版で DLC として配信されて
Yeah, so you're gonna get all the
い
DLC
たコン
for
テンツ
free.
も
It's just
多
gonna
数
be
収
included.
録しています。こちらも製品公式サイトをご覧ください。最後に本作のリマスター企画立ち上げに際して猪俣先生と藤
Yeah, so
島
he's
先
going
生
over
の
it right here.
合作によるミラとジュードの書き下ろしイラストを制作いただいておりました。改めて猪俣先生の生前のご講義に感謝しつつ、ここに公開させていただきます。
That just looks so nice.
とても素敵な合作イラストとともにエクシリアをプレイしたことがある方もまだプレイしたことがない方もこの機会にぜひ遊んでみていただけると嬉しいです。今後もスタッフ一丸となってテイルズオブ30周年イヤーを盛り上げていきますので、どうぞご期待ください。引き続きテイルズオブシリーズをよろしくお願いいたします。
There you have it. So that's pretty much everything there is to go over with that. So let's just kind of talk about the now that we know that this is coming out, let's talk about the future. So obviously the most obvious thing you would expect coming after this would be Xillia 2. That would be the next remaster. But you know, some people are very iffy about that because, you know, they did the remaster for Symphonia, but then they didn't do Dawn of the New World, which obviously is a very different territory because at the time of release, Dawn of the New World was considered kind of a wasn't considered a mothership title, but now it is. So it's kind of a weird territory. Like Dawn of the New World isn't something I see getting a full release like Graces and Xillia did. If anything, I could see it being something later where they just do like a random digital release for it, which I do think it deserves more than that, but a lot of people would disagree with me on that. So who knows what they're gonna, what direction they're gonna go in. I said from the start, once we saw Graces, I was like, okay, they're just gonna go in reverse order. They're gonna start with the newest titles that haven't been, that aren't on modern consoles, and they're just gonna work their way backwards. Obviously, Graces is older than Xillia, but they're all part of the PS3 era games. So I really do think that, they'll probably do Xillia 2 next. Maybe we get a digital release for Dawn of the New World, and then they'll finally start moving backwards from that. but it's also just like this weird territory where I want to say this. I love every single game in the series. I have played every single one except for Tales of Destiny 2, just because there was no localization or even a fan translation yet. So I have no way to play it while understanding, entirely what goes on in the game. But in the modern market of gaming, the older titles, I don't know about in Japan, but in the West, they are not going to be as desirable by new fans getting into the series. Unless you get like a bunch of them bundled together, I just don't see Bandai wanting to sell them as individual products. I don't see the original Fantasia, with quality of life stuff added, being sold for $40. I just don't see it. I think the best we could probably hope for with that is that they bundle like, maybe they take Fantasia and Eternia and they bundle them together and it's $30 for those two games. They finally localized the PS2 version of Destiny, and then Destiny 2, sell those two as a duology for like $30 or $30 or $40, something like that. But I don't know what they're going to do when it comes to that. For all we know, like I mentioned before about remakes, maybe for the really older ones, they're just going to decide to remake things. Once again, I love the older games, but it's just, for them, it's going to be a business thing. We have to see what they're going to decide to do. And then as for the anniversary, I definitely think as Tomizawa just got done saying, this anniversary goes until next December. So a year and 4 months from now. So I do think within that time, we will get an announcement for the next mainline. So we may see a gap after this remaster of Tales of Xillia in October, depending on when the next mainline is going to be ready, if it comes out next year or if it's in 2027. If it's in 2027, we'll probably see the Xillia 2 remaster before that. But if it is going to be like, summer 2026, maybe they announce it at the Game Awards, it comes out next year, we may see a break with the remasters until after the next mainline. So we're just going to have to see what happens with that. But that's pretty much all I've got. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you're excited for Tales of Xillia. And let me know which Tales game is most desired for you to see a remaster of. I think for me, obviously, Rebirth and Destiny 2 are my top two picks, just because they're not accessible in English. Rebirth does have a fan translation, and Destiny 2 does not, but it would just be nice to have official releases of those games. So those are my top two, for sure. Destiny 2 obviously being my top one, just because I have yet to play it. It's the only mainline in the series I have yet to play. When I do find some free time after all these releases that are coming out over the next few months, I do plan to go through the Radiant Mythology games at some point. If I can find translations for all three of them. I think the first one was in English, but I don't know if the second or third one were released in English, so if those have a fan translation, I may play that. But that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.